Thank you. Mr. President, are you ready,
Yes,
sir?
Madam Clerk.
Yes, we're live. You may go when you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Patterson. Happy New Year. So this is a special meeting on July 2nd. Let's the meeting start. We have quorum. So good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Patterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the budgetary year meeting of January 2nd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. President, Happy New Year to everyone. Roll call for the Municipal Council budgetary year meeting of Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Councilman Abdulaziz,
Present.
Councilwoman Cotton,
Here.
Councilwoman Davila,
Happy New Year to everyone present.
Councilman Jackson, Councilman Kalik.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mims.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Three Kings Day, Feliz Navidad. I'm here, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Udin. Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the statement of compliance, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law for 2023-2024. The meeting date is January 2nd, 2024. The time is now 6:38 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2023-2024 on or about July 1, 2023. 2. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2024 was duly transmitted on or about July 1, 2023 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, The Arabic Voice, The Italian Voice, the Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, La Quisqueya Internacional, El Especial, the Patterson Press, the City Post News, Tap into Patterson, the Weekly Bangla Patrika, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2023-2024 was permanently posted in the lobby of City Hall, first floor in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2023-2024 was duly filed with the Municipal Clerk. And 5. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council member, there's no payment of bill as per the Finance Department. So, Madam Clerk, we'll be ready to take item number 1 on the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President. Item number 1 is a resolution authorizing calendar year 2024 budget temporary appropriations for January through March 2024. It's a Finance Resolution 24:001.
So move.
Second,
Moved
discussion.
by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilwoman Dr. Lisa Mins, and let that record reflect that we have our great Councilman Luis Velez join the meeting. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 1.
Discussion, Council President.
Discussion, Councilwoman Mims.
Just very quickly, good evening, Happy New Year, Madam BA. 2 questions. 1, does this item require 6 votes? That's the first question. And then the second question is, could this not have taken place in our last meeting, or did it have to take place in January? So if you could provide an update on both. Thank you.
Sure. Council President and Councilwoman Mims,
Yes.
this only requires 5 votes. It is the first budget of the year. It's known as the temporary budget. And then once we get into the emergency temporary budgets, I believe that is when 6 votes are required. And no, unfortunately, this couldn't have been combined with our closeout. It has to be done in the new fiscal year to set the temporary budget for that year and allow us to proceed with payroll later on this week.
Thank you for that clarification, Madam BA. Thank
And
you.
I don't know if CFO, if I got that all right, or if there's anything you want to add.
You got that all right.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Madam BA. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 1 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila,
And in addition, let the record reflect that these appropriations are to cover the first 3 months of the budget for the new budgetary year. So with that said, my vote is yes.
thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Kalik,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Mims,
To the viewing public tonight, we're here to vote on the appropriations. The reason why it's very important is to ensure that our employees get paid and payroll is approved. My vote is yes.
thank you. Councilman Udine is absent. Councilman Velez,
I join the sentiment of Councilwoman Large, Dr. Lissa Mintz. Not only employees had to get paid, we have fiscal responsibility with insurance and other things that we had to cover. So that's to be in a fair government side. So my vote is yes.
thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President,
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And as my council colleague stated before, this is a normal process. In the beginning of a fiscal year, we allocate this temporary appropriation to continue doing city business, making sure our employees get paid, and also the operation of the city to cover the cost of the operation of the city. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 1 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 2 on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Item number 2 is a resolution establishing an annual cash management plan and updating official depositories and signatories for calendar year 24, January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024. It's a finance resolution 24:002.
So moved.
Second,
And
Moved by Councilwoman Davila, second by Dr. Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on item number, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. I just need to ask a question, Council President.
Councilwoman Cotton.
And maybe this is probably referred to the VA about how the banks are chosen to be the depositories. I see the names of them, but I'm saying, how do the city chooses the banks that they would like for the money to be deposited in?
So Councilwoman, really, we really go through every bank in the city, or try to go through every bank that's in the city. And for the most part, really, we've used these banks since the last, I want to say 10 to 15 years. It's been really the policy of the city to try to use every bank in the city. Our main bank is TD, but we do have other banks that we use, but for the most part, our main bank is TD Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Council President?
Madam Councilwoman Davila. I think Councilwoman Cotton she mute herself. You mute yourself, Councilwoman. You
Okay, I'm
finished?
sorry. So you're saying that sometimes in different years you change with different banks? Is that what you're saying, Javier?
No, we have like 10, 12, I want to say 18 banks that we use. Mostly all of them throughout the city, but our main bank is really TD Bank.
Okay, so you use more than just the names you got listed here. Okay.
No, they're all listed there, but yeah, we use all separate banks. Yes.
No, you know what happened? I see all the different funds that we have to put money in, like the trust fund, the current fund, the community development fund, the weight and measure fund, parking, public defender. I just see all the different categories, so that's what makes me wonder about. You got to put the deposit. I mean, the like when they take out the FICA, when they take out the federal taxes, when they take out, say, union dues, they all go into a different account, right?
Well, no, that's for example, that's TD Bank. Like community development, that has its own bank. We get drawdowns from the whole state, so that has its own bank. So we have separate banks for separate things.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to understand too. That let me, you know what? I have another question, but I'll hold off on it.
Well, my question, Council President, my question is real quick before I vote. I noticed here as as you indicated, you try to use most of the banks of the city. Is there any reason why Chase isn't part of it?
It's probably something that we just need to update and use, really. We've used all these banks and really, there's really no reason other than, like I said, we have most of our banks, we have most of our drawdowns that are already set up to accounts. So sometimes it is hard to change, but it's really something that we just need to update.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, just to look at it, I mean, in terms of, rates and so forth, I mean, I don't know around here if anybody uses Chase, but, Chase is right across the street. All right, so, anyway.
Yep.
Just
Thank you, Councilman David.
Council President. Council President. So
Yes, Councilwoman Lynn.
I agree, and I'm a longtime Chase user. So while we're here and we're voting, can this be amended upon request that Chase be added to? Because I don't see it listed. So is there an internal listing with Chase on it? Like where do we have the banks listed, or it doesn't need to be listed on this particular?
It's on 6, right? It's
Yeah.
on 4, 5, 6.
They're all listed.
Designation of this, all the banks are there.
So is Chase listed? Because
No, that's why I asked why
Yeah.
isn't it? Because it's
Well,
not.
that's what I'm saying. So can we add Chase on? That means to Corporation Council, this item needs to be amended to add Chase on, because even if we're utilizing it, it's not listed in the language. So we need to amend the
we're not.
language.
We're not really using them.
Oh, we're not using
We're
them.
not using Chase.
I
yet.
asked why we are not.
Okay, so we're not using them, but you're saying we
No.
possibly plan to use them.
As of right now, so this year, no.
Okay, so for next year.
If I would add them in the list, possibly, yes. I would
So then a recommendation, since we're not using them, I would like to see a breakdown, and I know we're voting on this tonight, but I would like to see a breakdown of all of the banks that we're currently listing and the interest of what we're receiving from them for each one. I don't know if it's just direct savings checking, what does that look like? Or if we're doing other funds there compared to like Chase that we did not include. I think that's important for us to see that maybe we're losing some level of interest there. But if we could just get that, we don't have it tonight, it's not going to stop me from voting, but I think it would be something good that the council needs to see.
We are also,
Understood.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you, Councilwoman.
just also working on our RFP for banks because we haven't updated this in a while. So
Right.
we are working on an RFP for all banks to try to get the best rate of interest for all of them.
Thank you.
So we are
Okay.
Thank you, Javier.
So that should be a part of the needs-based assessment that we're doing to identify which banks so that we'll get more return for the city.
Correct.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank
I
you,
have one more question.
President,
President, and then we got it done. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Council. I got a question. I know way back, a couple months ago, we voted for a company that's going to manage the off-duty officer payout. It was going to fall into that, et cetera, right? I'm listening complaint out there that office is not receiving the off-duty payment on time, et cetera, et cetera. This off-duty police trust fund, why is there? If we have a company
No, we got to
that,
be.
excuse me, hold on. Yeah,
No, just Councilman Blas, continue, because that's a very good question for Ryan. Continue.
correct. So we voted for this company that's going to avoid that back and forth with treasurer and the off-duty or the escrow account, whatever. They was going to manage the pay to the off-duty police officer to get paid on time. They're not waiting 6 months for payment, et cetera. Now, this is the same that off-duty trust company is the one that received the funding and they have to manage it, or we have that company managing that fund? And why is we put that in place is still delayed like it was us doing it?
Ryan?
So the off-duty police is not up and running yet. The company's not up and running yet, Councilman.
So when Council President, this is well to know, because if we approve something and it takes effect right away or 25 days or whatever we approve the company, and they getting that contract was awarded to them, why is that up and running? We have officer out there waiting for those payment. We got officers that want to leave our city because the payment is low. We got officers that, believe it or not, Council President, that they had to get money to pay their rent, and they local police officers say here.
Trust me, I believe that, and we put a lot of effort, Javier, into finding this company and voting on this, and this was a great move on the right direction to support our local police, our police department. But we're not aware about the company is not in yet. When the company is going to take charge of this contract? Can you give us some information and in writing also as well, because this is important. Go ahead, Valencia.
Before you get the information, this is when a council member want to work with administration, and the basic thing is communication. We approve bills to get paid. We find out the check never gets there on time. We find out that we award contract and we had to chase around the questions or the answers of it. If I don't bring this question up, and it came up to me because I was reading documents here, and it came up to me, hold on. Now I recall the officer that at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, meet me at the coffee shop or whatever I'm stopping, and asked me for what's our pay at. Then you guys approve a company was going to make it easy for we could get our off-duty work pay right away. Now I bring this question up, Javier, with all respect, this surprised all of us that sit in the council, because we was glad that we moved forward to approve this and alleviate the concern of the police officers. Now it's not up and running. Javier, when did we approve this company?
I really don't know.
Wow.
Council President, if I could jump in here.
So give me 1 second. So, Madam BA, this is what happened. I mean, this is a very serious matter. Before you interject, this is a very serious matter. I mean, under the impression, I'm under the impression, like my other council colleagues, that we fixed that problem with the Patterson Police. And yes, I'm getting those calls also, like Councilmember Les and other council members, that our police department, they're struggling. They're not making enough money in our city. But with the off-duty job, if they get paid on time, that really balance it up, and it make them, it make the job easy and better for them. We approve this company. It's not in yet. So the reason why it's not, and when that's gonna happen, because this is a big deal for Patterson Police. This is very important. Go ahead.
Yes, and Council President, I was looking back at sort of the details, and as you might recall, we had to do this a few times, and it looks like, I believe the final process went through as of late October. That I'm, kind of seeing that here. We'll follow up with the police department, because this is something that was being run at the department level, and implementing it and moving forward. And again, just because, we pass things in council, then we work with both purchasing, legal to finalize contracts with vendors and to be able to move forward. And then usually at the department level, they work with the vendor to implement it. And so we'll check and see if they've had some of those initial calls, and especially with technology, a lot of times there's a little bit of an onboarding process. For example, when
let's do this, Madam BA, check and see when, but let me correct you. We only went once with this. This is what it was, one round. We all agree when we got this project, when we got this resolution, every council member agreed that we need a third party to pay the off-duty job to our police department, and it was easy, it was smooth. We all agree on. So I'm not gonna comment no more. But I'm waiting for. Please give us a full report with the police department. What is needed for this company to start handling the off-duty payment, because that's been a problem for years.
Yep.
So to all the council members, before we vote,
Council President,
Councilwoman Davila.
So I wanted to just ask, does that have anything to do with the takeover?
Well, some of it slowed down because of that. Yes.
No, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable.
I'll get back to you, Councilman. I'll get back to you,
We'll follow up and see how it is.
I have the floor.
Councilman Davila, Councilman Mims, and I will get back to you. Go ahead.
So everything's
Councilman Councilman Davila.
Can we just be mindful of if you don't have the floor, just to turn your mic off because it sounds really bad. Like right now, us here, we really don't see what other people are seeing, so it sounds really like gibberish. So, the reason why I asked that, is because I'm thinking, I know that there was some things going on, in terms of the Attorney General, things with the department. I know even we're having a quick emergency meeting because, items that needed to be passed haven't been passed because, there hasn't been meetings that need to be had. So that's why I asked that question. I wanted to know if that had anything to do. Do I agree with Councilman Velez that that's unacceptable? Absolutely. Because once this council takes action on an item and we vote yes, we know what the process is. All right. And so, with that said, that is the reason why I asked. All right. Thank you very much. I have nothing else to say. After everyone's done, I'm going to go.
I'll Councilman Mims and then Councilman Cotton. I'll go with you and then Councilman Velez. Go ahead, Councilman Mims.
A lot of what I wanted to say was already stated. I just want to add, is it going to be, how is the payment going to be issued? Is it staggered? It's a one-time payment? Is it retroactive? How will that look? We need to, when you send the other information, please send that as well. We have voted on this back in October. We should have an exact date when we voted on it. And then we should also have the details as to whatever that amount, or they'll be paid from X date, so they'll get retroactive because as Councilman Velez, thank you for bringing it up, because I know a couple officers have asked me about it, and I thought by this point that it was already resolved. So can we just get the details so that we can have additional communication to give out to those officers or anyone that approaches the council members, that we have the same message based on what the administration is doing. Thank you, Council President.
Sure. Thank you, Councilwoman Min. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to speak on things that I've seen in the past. What I discovered, I just want to say to Amen that even though we vote on something today and they have to draw up a contract, and then the other party don't like the contract, they take it to their law firm. They want to change the contract, then our law department got to look at it again and see what changes they want to put in new, because it happened with us, and no one really probably knew about it, but it happened with us with community development, where we was trying to get the person there to do the work on people's homes that needed a roof, a boiler, and we saw it go back and forth for almost 3 months. We had people waiting to get work done on their property, but the company did not like the contract. The contract had to be done all over again. They had to send it back to the city. So, let everyone know what really happened. They may not, and I know some of these firms out there, they won't take it to their lawyer until they feel like taking it to them. And so now we got to wait for it to come back because they won't sign off. But I kept calling. This lady could not get her boiler because the man said, until I get the contract, until my lawyer send the contract back and we sign the contract, that's how we can get stuff done. So just let everyone know really what happened, how many times it's gone back and forth from this company to and what they're looking for, what they want us to do, what are their percentage of income. I mean, we need to know all of that. So if you can do that, Madam B.A. Javier, we're aiming to make sure that the contract is there.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Velez.
So let me see if I'm okay on this. Before a contract is presented to the council, or any RFP was done, any quote was taken, a checklist of the company is processed through the administration, that they fulfill, that they're gonna say this is a scope of work. We are ready to take this. We are ready to put it to work.
That's nice to say, but it don't happen. It doesn't happen. I've seen it in too many other boards.
Councilman Velez has the floor. Let him finish, please. Go ahead, Councilman Velez.
So when it comes up to us in the floor to vote on it, and the first question that we ask, how you get into this contract, how they operate, where's the checklist? Everybody sells to us that it's going to resolve a problem that they for a couple of years, and whoever sit in public safety committee in the past will know that even Jerry Speciale was looking for this because officer needed the money. right away. PC&G paid right away. All those companies that they do side jobs, they paid right away. I see them signing the paper to get paid right away, and the money comes back to the city into the escrow account in the past to get paid. The problem is the city takes time to process that payment. Now, that company was supposed to resolve all that issue. Now we vote on it based on the checklist that they're going to be ready, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not comfortable to say that the final step got here. If that contract was solid and was
I think Councilman Velez.
He's frozen.
on?
Yeah,
And Council President, if I could just respond to one part.
Sure, Madam B, if I may, and council members, I understand that we're not voting on that because we already voted, but Madam BA, we're expecting to have a full detail about when that company is going to start.
Yep, I will.
We cannot hear you, Councilman Velez. Go ahead, Madam BA.
Yep, I will.
Hold on, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. I guess I'm doing something right because they disconnect me right away somehow. But
It's the internet. Go ahead.
Internet. I'm in New Jersey. I'm not in Dominican Republic like last week. But listen. But one thing I gotta say is,
David is there, and she got frozen too. Go ahead.
I know. I was last week. I got frozen. That's why. So one thing you guys could have agreed, okay, and I guess you could agree. We cannot blame always the takeover of the police off. The police will take over what's operational, the finance and other things. It falls in the responsibility of us. We could pay for the employee get paid on time, the overtime get them paid on time, the off-duty job get paid on time. It falls into us. If we're gonna blame everything to the Attorney General don't take responsibility in contracts when they have to do off-duty jobs. They just go to the off-duty office, they do a contract, and they ask for the money right away. If not, they don't supply those officers. So,
Council President, if I could say, because you know what, he just made a statement that I think is a little out of order, because it is I who mentioned the state. I never blamed the state. I asked if the takeover had anything to do. So I take somewhat offense to that, because I am not blaming the Attorney General's office, nor am I blaming the state takeover. All right. So please, I'm putting that on record that I did not say that. I asked if that had anything to do with what's going on.
You have any comments about this?
She miscommunicated what I'm saying. You asked the question. The BA is trying to say yes.
I got you. Yes, Councilwoman. So the VA was the one to answer. So before we voted, Madam BA, you got the floor.
Yes, thank you. I would just like to clarify. I'll provide that information. We'll get an update from the department on where they are, if they are in the process of onboarding and working with the onboarding with the technology. But Councilman Velez, that's not exactly correct. We do process off-duty pay as we get paid. The great benefit of this company and to work with all the vendors in this field is that they pay before even they might get paid. The city is not in a position to be able to do that. So sometimes we do get the scheduling of off-duty work without the payment at the same time. And then the city does have to wait to pay out until it gets that payment. Going forward with the company, they would get paid as soon as the time is worked in a regular kind of pay cycle. And then the company waits to collect the money, and they might get it after the fact from the particular agencies that are using them. So I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that.
Thank you, Madam.
Council President. Hold on, before that, Council President, it's good to know that you heard her statement. They pay up front, and they get and the company wait into the administration pay them. What about if we don't pass the budget for 6 months?
No, Council President.
No, the way. Give me 1 second, Madam BA. Council member, the way this company works is simple. The problem is that PNC&G pay immediately. to the city of Patterson. That money going to the general fund, into different fund. And for some reason, it takes forever for the administration to figure it out and pay those employees.
No,
What's gonna
no,
happen-
that's not
and
correct
Madam
though,
BA,
Council President.
Madam BA, trust me.
But that's what I
know
just
why
tried to-
Madam BA, it takes forever for the Patterson police officer to get paid. Madam BA, please don't argue on that. Madam BA, I got police officers that I have to wait 4 or 5 months for payment. Madam BA, you hear that every day.
But Council President, that is not true.
Madam BA,
I will let the CFO address this.
Madam BA, listen, the great thing is that we already hired a company that's what they do. They work in a Newark and a different other municipality. When they get the job, they pay immediately to those officers. Please,
Yes.
what we need from the administration is just let us know when that company is going to start. Let us know if there is a problem with the contract because we already voted on that. That's all we
Yes.
need to know. And
I will
if
let
there's
you
a-
know that, Council President, but I also
Okay.
cannot let you just say things that are not true. But we
Madam
can
BA,
move
it's
on
not
from
true
this.
that-
Let's focus on
Councilmember,
the,
when is that true that police officers have to wait 2-3 months to get paid for an off-duty job, Madam BA?
it sometimes happens, but it's not because the administration is not processing the
If I'm
payment.
the only one, Madam BA, just tell me if I'm the only one, and Councilmember, that here police officers say we waiting too long to get paid, 3-4
I
months to
understand,
get-
Council President, I understand, but as you know, it is not just because we're, like we said, it's if do not receive the payment, we cannot move forward with it. So
I understand,
that
but the
we are
reason why
we are
you and I-
moving forward in a different direction, but please do not, do
Madam
not
BA,
say
but
things
you
that are
and I
not true.
agree. You and I agree. Listen, if I call 10 police officers, 10 out of 10 will tell me that they have a big problem. And
Of course, they're going to say that, Council President.
we hear this for years. It's not only Velez and myself that say that police officers are not getting paid on time. That's the reason why we hired this company to
Correct.
fix the problem. So you and I agree that we have a problem with the off-duty payment of the police officer and all my council colleagues. We already voted. Let us know when that company is going to start. That's all
We
we
will
need
let
to know.
you know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 2 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz. Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Cotton.
Pass, Madam Clerk. Go to the next person.
Councilwoman Davila.
So from the looks, Councilman Abdulaziz is no longer in the meeting. So I'm gonna vote first. And I am going to vote affirmative. But I do want to say this, that I think it's important, Madam BA, as you heard the discussion today, that we get the information. Ain't no need to beat you over the head anymore with this. You already know what the council has asked, and it is expected that when we, vote on something that, if it's an ordinance and it needs the 21 days or 20 days and then the 21st to be active, and that if that's not going to happen, that as a council, we should know, because it is true that we do get phone calls. We all get phone calls. I know I do, Councilwoman Mims, especially the at-large, get phone calls concerning, the officers and doing the extra. Sometimes they don't even want to work anymore. It's so hard. I've heard them say, you know what, we don't get paid. We wait 3-6 months to get paid. So it is true. And I've known that to be true. Okay. But with that said, enough is enough in terms of what we're requesting. And we look forward to just getting that information in a timely fashion. So on item number 2 for the annual cash management plan, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davila. Councilman Kalik.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I think we are voting on cash management, choosing the banks, which banks that we're going to use for upcoming years. And I don't think we are voting on how to make the payments for the off-duty police officers. Let me get that clear. So my vote is yes on this item. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman Kalik. Councilwoman Mims.
So we have a fiduciary responsibility to the community and the public at large when it comes to trying to find ways to save money or to allow their money to get a return on investment. To hear today some of the concerns, not just of the pay for the off-duty police officers, but more specifically that we have not done our due diligence from the administrative level to identify all the banks we've chosen and to take a look, do a needs-based assessment of a full array of the banks to see what the interest rates are. That really concerns me because we are continually raising and increasing taxes and not stabilizing the tax for our tax base. And that's really, it's a concern for me when I know that we should be doing our due diligence as an administration and as a city to ensure that everything we do is in the best interest of the community at large. With that being stated, because that has not taken place, unfortunately, I cannot support it at this time. I pray that we do our due diligence in the future. And this vote is for now, so we can't update or change. It will be next year, but I pray for next year that we will do it right the first time. With that stated, Council President, my vote is no.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez?
Of course. I believe that we approved this this company to manage the off-duty officer back in September 2023. Okay? We still, New Year, and now we find out that it's not up and running. It's a shame the third largest city of the state cannot even up and run in a contract that we approve to make sure that our police officer get the extra money that they have to do because the salary are low, they don't have a contract in place. And the sad part is, on November 2023, I read an article that says in Bergen County, Patterson police officers are moving to Bergen County to work for better pay. It wasn't my surprise for me this past weekend that I was in Prospect Park. Matter of fact, the 31st, a Sunday. And this gentleman was rushing to a call in Prospect Park. It was a one-hour police officer that had been here for 10 years. And it was shipped. He moved to Prospect Park to change because the pay and better contract. Ladies and gentlemen, we are losing our police officer. Every council member here have to agree with this. We are losing our police officer. First, 5 years without contract. Still debating what's the best pay for them. While other cities in other towns are paying better than blues men and women out there. Madam BA had to understand this. Like it or not, yes, they're going to complain. Yes, they're going to say that's not fair. But when they have to go to your house or my house or anybody's house, they go and respond and forget about that pay and forget about they owe them money or they don't have a contract because they swear in to serve and protect. So it's time for us to step up and say, we don't want to be that lack of service for them. We need to pay them on time. So I'm a little bit upset beside the garbage problem we have out there. You know, I'm a little upset that we find out today that it was not up and running. And I'm gonna make sure that the next review of the 5-year plan, how we doing this and how we doing that, we really look into this and see if the administration really catching up and all that stuff before I vote on the 5-year plan or best practice. Because when we stamp our signature and best practice, all the stuff that we mentioned in today should not be happening at all. And let me say this. God bless our police officer that they still here. Because if any municipality out there look at the qualified police officer that we have in the city of Pasadena, qualified police officer, well trained, well certified, doing an extra job, ex-military, active military personnel works in our department, they should get that pay without no remorse and no problem. So saying that, because we're approving the people that's going to sign checks and all that, I hope the person that are here managing this understand that our police officers need the money right away, especially when they go off duty or overtime. My vote is yes on this.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Councilwoman Cotton, are you ready? Can you unmute? Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Clerk. And I hear And Councilwoman Davila, we got a meeting tomorrow with public safety. And my first question is going to be to our director. These officers who are leaving our city, are they going to cities with civil service, or are they going with cities who do not have civil service? We were told many times already that a city that has civil service do not want to take our police officers because they got to repay the city of Patterson all the money that the city of Patterson paid to train them. That'll be our first question, Councilwoman Davila. And I understand that, and I even looked at some of these banks and stuff. I think that we need to, there's some banks on here that I would like to see, and there's a couple of banks on here I don't want to see them on here. I know how bad they are sometimes to certain people. We have to take a whole new different look on how we make sure that, these banks are being fairly to all the residents of the city of Patterson and not pick and choose who they give loans to, how pick and choose what areas they cover, not pick and choose. But and I want Madam BA, when she get a chance, what they're talking about with that police thing, I want to see what happened from start to finish as to why the contract was not signed, even though we voted on the resolution, but the contract was not signed. The reason why it was not signed, why did it take so long? And you got to have some information going back and forth. We have to be able to put our money in different accounts. So if we don't have that, then we can't write checks. And I would like to distinguish, as someone said before, what is for payroll, what is for bills, what accounts are coming out of what accounts for different payments. Well, what is for payroll? What is for paying regular bills? What is for FICA? What is for federal withholding tax? What is for pension? What is for, they all got to be coming out from different accounts. So, but we have to have some bank depositories on here. They talk about a few, I ain't gonna mention no names. I'm looking at my corporation counsel. I'm not mentioning no names, corporation counsel, but we have to have these banks in place. We may disagree with some of them, but we still got to have them in place. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Mr. President. See there. You're muted, Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council members, this has been a very good discussion, because even though we're not voting on the on the item to make those payments to the off-duty police officer, because we already voted a month ago. We have to support our police officer. They are suffering here in the city of Patterson. And I'm very sure that I'm not the only council member, like Councilwoman Davila, Councilwoman Velez, and all the council members. I hear the cry of the police department, because they're not making enough money in the city, but they love the city of Patterson. Those are young men and women from our community that they choose to be in the police department, but they're not making enough money because we're not paid enough to the police officer that we have. And we understand that. And knowing that, in order for us to go to the 520, the number that we need to bring safety into the police, into the city of Patterson, we have to fix the payment for the police department. They don't want to talk about that. But on the budget, we have to have that conversation, because we don't have enough police officers, because they live in the city. And there's other cities that they take those officers immediately that have nothing to do with service, but they move it to Bergen County, Essex County, to any other county, because if you look at it, every other county pay more money than the city of Patterson. Now, it's fair enough for us to take action and make sure that they get the off-duty payment on time, because that's what they need to balance the budget, the monthly budget, in order for them to put food on the table. And they are the one putting their life on the line. When there's a problem, we're running away from the problem, and they're running into the problem. They are bringing safety into our community. It's a shame that this company, it's not in place right now, and we have to stay on top of this until we fix the problem. Our police department deserves to be paid on time, the off-duty job. Bottom line, because we understand that the administration are not ready to increase the salary, the starting salary with our police department. We don't even have the contract settled. They are suffering. I'm definitely looking forward to see that information. And on the Public Safety Committee, let's find out what is the problem. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the votes are 5 yeses, 1 no, 3 absences. Item number 2 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council member, there's no more item on the agenda. Now we're getting
Motion to
into a public
close.
portion. I
The
see
public
two people
portion.
on
We
the,
have to do the public portion.
Just a quick
yes,
comment.
we have two people on the waiting room. Ryan, let us know, and if we could just briefly explain the community what is the situation, because we have no problem with that. With the problem is that people, they need to follow the process when they call. Are you there, Ryan?
Okay,
And then
so,
Council President.
Council President, I'll just reiterate that in order to, be added to the key, all the speakers who have called in should just press *3 to be added, and they will be able to speak on the public portion.
Great, excellent. How many
Council
speakers do we
President.
have, Madam Clerk?
So far, we have. There are two people online, but they don't want to speak, I'm told. So no one is there to speak as yet, Council President.
Also, no one, so those two people in the waiting room, they're just there, okay?
They just
no
want to be
problem.
there. They don't want to speak.
So to the member of the community, the public portion is now open. If you really want to, if you want to call and you hear Madam Clerk, follow that process. Let's wait a minute or two to see if anybody calls.
Call the number.
If nobody called, then we will adjourn the meeting. So Councilwoman Mims.
And before I speak, Madam Clerk, can you just give them the call-in number?
Yes,
so that
I will.
The community knows
For
what.
those who would like to participate, please call 973-321-1579. Use meeting ID 8326. Again, the number to call to participate in this meeting is 973-321-1579, meeting ID 8326, and press 3 to be added to the speaker key.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
There's one
Councilwoman-
person online waiting right now.
One person? Okay.
Yes, Mr. President.
Sure. Let that person in, Madam Clerk, please.
So you want me to wait? You gave me the floor, then you want me to
Sure.
wait?
Let's.
I'll wait till
Council-
after the public speaks.
Sure, after the public portion, let's take advantage
Okay.
with that person. Make sure that.
Mrs.
don't forget this.
Member of the public, you may go if you're there.
Hello,
Yes,
Please go ahead and
Good
speak.
evening.
State your name for the record.
good evening. Good evening. This
Good
is Deborah
evening.
Hannibal. Good evening.
Hi, Ms.
First, I'd
Hannibal.
like to say Happy New Year.
Happy
Hello.
New Year.
And I had a Happy New Year. I wasn't there to congratulate Wahida Muhammad, but I wanted to congratulate her on her honor. And I did have a question about the annual cash management system. Did we speak about the signatories and the separation of duties? Who has rights for signature? And how are the duties separated?
thank you, Madam BA. I know that this question is to Javier, Madam BA. Do you hear the question, Madam BA? Because since we don't have any other speaker, let's answer the question immediately to the members of the community that is on the line.
Council President.
Yes, Javier.
So it's the senators is the mayor and me, and the duties. We have two departments. We have a treasury department that gives out checks. We have the departments itself that do the PO and deal with the vendors, and then we have accounts controls that deals with processing of the payments.
The people on the line, once again, they're not.
So do people that handle payroll also have access to handle checks?
No, they don't deal with vendors. No.
Not vendors, checks.
What do you mean by checks?
I know that well, I don't know this, but does the city still cut paper checks? Previously, there was a separation of duties when payroll was moved out of finance. And now I know that they're all in one area. Or is payroll, and this is just a question, I don't have any inside information, but they're seems to be some issues going on with payroll. I know there's a new payroll system. And even with the off-duty, there seems to be an issue that was not there before. I haven't seen this addressed previously in council meetings. And I don't know if it's because of the new payroll system. I don't have that information, but I am concerned about who's authorized to sign. And the people that are authorized to sign, do they have access to payroll?
So again, the signatories are...
Or to handle checks or to give out checks?
The signatories are mayor and myself. And I'm not aware of any payroll issues.
Okay.
And then the vetting system for
Council
selecting banks?
Just give me a minute. Go ahead,
What
Maria.
is the system that you use to select the banks?
I asked that question.
Yes.
Yes. And how did we look at the banks? Did we look at banks that and their record on dealing with minorities?
I said the same thing.
Yeah, that question
that.
was asked.
Thank
That
you,
question was
Councilwoman.
asked.
So how? Yes. Was it answered?
Yeah, Councilwoman Cotton asked that question about the list of bank on the RESO. So I know that you asked a couple of questions to Mr. Silva. He answered those questions. But I know Madam Clerk, make sure you get her phone and email. That way, if you need additional information, Javier could email you those information or could call you directly. And so let's do that. That way we can pass to the next speaker.
Yes, Mr. President, I will.
Okay, because I've asked for OPA requests for DCA reports. So I have yet to receive them. So I hope, by going through, I will get what I'm asking for. And then I had another question about the bulk trash pickup.
Yes, ask the question and we're gonna answer at the end. We allow you to get this back and forth because there was no other speaker on the line. But ask that question. This is very important. So this is the new process, and we're gonna answer it at the end. Because I know other council member might have comment on your question. What is your question?
Yes, thank you, Council President. This is just a very, for lack of a better term, like a raggedy system. The play of me speaking and then you relaying the relay system. So it is. Yeah, I like having the option for people that are at home to be able to view the meetings on TV. But this delay system, it's hard to be able to speak. So I don't mean to interrupt you. So if it appears that I am, I apologize for that.
No problem.
So I saw an article that that the city's going to try to remove the $50 for the bulk pickup. And I was just wondering how does the bulk pickup work? Is that something that's going to be picked up monthly? If we squash the charge for it, will people know based on the zones that bulk pickup will be done in your area on a certain date?
Okay, so very good. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. You that's your question.
Yes, that's my question.
Okay, so
and I know
other council members will comment. It's hard for me to hear. It's cutting off, but make sure you stay tuned. First of all, the charge on the last meeting, we removed the charge. There's no more $50 charge for the bulk pickup. That's number one. Number two, if you have to call the DPW department, make an appointment, and put them on the schedule for the DPW department to go and do the pickup. That's totally separate from the Philco, which is the new garbage company that we have. But those are two things. There's no payment from the public. We amend the RESO, and also you have to make an appointment by calling DPW. Do we have any other speaker on the line, Madam Clerk?
No, Mr. President, not as yet.
Then move to close.
Second.
Move to close by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call to close the public
Do I
portion.
wait to make my statement after public
Yes,
portion?
Councilwoman. Yes, right after right after on the closing, you could make the statement on the closing of the public portion, whatever you feel like.
Okay.
Or after we close the public portion.
Okay.
Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call. Roll call to close the public portion of the budgetary year meeting of Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Councilwoman Cotton.
Madam Clerk, my vote is yes. I have something to say, but I'll wait till we close out. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes to close the public portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
So I actually do have something to say before I vote, but it'll be quick. And, this is basically to address because I am getting messages from viewers that are watching specifically that the city does have to do better in terms of looking at other banks. And the question was asked, was Wells Fargo one of the banks? And I responded, yes. Now, I heard you loud and clear, Mr. CFO, in terms of that because of this year and that this has to be done, that this would be for next year. I know Councilwoman Mims also asked various questions about that, about us, well, not us, but the administration not doing their due diligence at looking at other banks. So let us be very careful. It's my understanding that a lot of municipalities are getting away from Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo is one of the ones that we're voting on. They're high in fees. And so, we definitely have to look at ways of how, we save money. All right. And again, don't want to touch the topic about, our officers, our off-duty officers not getting paid on time. But if we're able to have monies in the coffers, right, because we're saving in other areas, then maybe, some of these issues would not occur. So with that said, my vote is yes to close the public portion.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davila. Councilman Kalik. See there. Councilwoman Mims.
Yes. So before I vote, and I'll speak again after Council President, but I think it's always important when it comes to the banks that we choose. For example, as Councilwoman Davila stated, Wells Fargo, not only are they high in fees, they were a bank that was highlighted because of the discriminatory practices against minorities, where they were not giving loans to minorities, the Black and Brown community, and they were sued very heavily for that. So I think we have to be careful in what who we connect with from the city's perspective, especially when we're a melting pot of diversity in the city of Paterson. We have to make sure if we're going to do business with them, that they're going to do business with the residents of this community. So with that stated, Madam Clerk, we're closing the public portion. There were some valid points made by Ms. Hannibal, who called in, and it would be great. Looking forward to seeing what those responses are from Madam BA. With that stated, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
Public portion, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
I noticed that we have only 2 speakers. My recommendation is that when we have virtual meetings, and it's good to see if IT and Mr. Rafael Gonzalez could do a tutorial video for people who watch it in 7732. And then when they start announcing that we have virtual meeting, they already know the process, how to connect into our system. A tutorial, a 30-second video will be good, and it will educate everyone, even us, when we want to come into the virtual meeting. Regarding the 5 banks that we have approved before, I listened to Javier that he says that we have 5 banks, but we most use TD Bank. So what's the reason you're having 5? There's a requirement to have 5 or have 5 and not use them. So we could have 10 and use them. And so I think we should, the same way that people shop around to make sure government pays, we could shop around where we could get the best benefit for the city and come up to fees and other things. So point well taken by Councilwoman Mims and Davila regarding the bank. So my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez.
And sorry, and before Mr. Hannibal's raised a good question. If there's any other conflict, if regarding the signature person, administration, and the mayors and Javier, if they manage manage payroll, that's a good question that the administration could clarify if there's in the future. It doesn't have to be today, because things are put on the air. We don't want to go to bed without thinking that something is being done in a wrong practice. We want to have the best practice in the city. My vote is yes again.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ms. Hannibal, thank you for calling on the virtual meeting. And yes, definitely, let's continue educating our community in terms of the virtual meeting. We want to make sure that everybody get the opportunity to be connected with this governing body. We want to hear what people need to say. And that list, we need to do a better job on that list, Javier, by next year. And it's my recommendation that we start now early and pass the list to all my council colleagues, and we have to make recommendation to add all the banks, local banks that are doing well in the community, that are doing great in terms of services, in terms of opportunity for a minority of Black and Brown community in the city of Patterson. And definitely, yes, those banks, they need to be included on that list. They need to have the opportunity to work with the city of Patterson. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 5 yeses, 4 absences. The public portion of the budgetary year meeting is hereby closed.
Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam BA, and then right after, Councilwoman Mims.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to, I know there were multiple questions about the signatories. As the CFO explained, there is no conflict. There are only 2 signatories. There are no other employees who are signatories or have access to create checks. The company that we use does the printing out of checks. It's not even done in-house anymore. So there is no conflict and nothing for anybody to be concerned about. I did want to bring up about the trash. For more information, please, we are trying to get all the information out to the public in every single possible way. I'd like to remind residents that they can go onto our website, pattersonnj.gov. Right at the top, you now see it says breaking news, and you see a link to 2024 carbon collection changes. You also have a button in the middle, all those circular buttons. One of them is to pay your sewer bill or your tax bill. You also see one that says trash pickup schedules. This will lead you to a page with the full information, the link that you can use to schedule a bulk pickup. Just as we said, there's not regular days for that. Our DPW employees are going to be going around picking up. It's something that when you need it, you have to schedule it, and the Public Works will have certain days for certain zones for you to schedule. So that could be done in multiple ways, and you can find more information again at pattersonnj.gov.
Thank you, Madam BA. Councilwoman Mims.
Yeah, so I'm glad that was a good leeway, Madam BA, to my point of reference. Today, we know that the new garbage company, Philco, started with garbage collection in our community. And I'm not sure if you're able to, but it would be nice on tonight if, Madam BA, if you can give an update on what took place on today, being their first day. But I would also like for us to see as a council a 30-day report, to see an assessed report of what took place in their first 30 days en route to pick up. I also would like to see sent to the council all of the garbage that was not picked up by Roselli, where they're going back to pick up and it's still there and there's just a mess in certain wards of the community. I would like to get an update, Madam BA, from you and Director Rodriguez in regards to those areas where the pickup has been staggered for whatever reasons and the reasons why. And the other point of reference is, are we still able to bill Roselli when they don't pick up on time? I know their contract is over. Are we still able to do that, or was there a good reason that was given to us prior to say that they would be delayed despite the weather, despite the holiday season? I would like to know that. I also would like to know with the new garbage company, how many people they hired and what percentage were Pattersonians. of the individuals that were hired by Philco. I want to know what that number looks like. So if they hired 50 people, how many of those people they hired were employees or residents of Patterson? The reason why I'm asking is because Roselli, for those that don't know and those that do know, about 90+% of Roselli employees were Pattersonians. And that contract was voted, we don't have them anymore. We have a new company. So I just want to know what is the percentage of what we're bringing in versus what we canceled out. How does it equate to us getting a return on investment? So that some of that may not be able to be answered today. Maybe you do have an assessment for today and what they did. And I also want to say, in addition, we still have to do a better job of communication. I saw all over social media today, many people that have no clue when is their pickup, what's happening. And I know there's been some robocalls, but there has not been a mass production of robocalls that's going out. And a lot of residents have no clue what's happening. I saw even the mayor put a post and they were all in his comments. They just had no clue when was their pickup. And people were texting tonight, please mention this in the meeting tonight, because no one is telling us anything. So the same plugs and the same measures that we take when we're announcing everything else. I'm sure the mayor is watching. Please let the mayor know there needs to be the same approach to make sure our residents are familiar and or comfortable with getting new garbage collection. The crows, the birds, the crows are in abundance in the city of Patterson. When the garbage is left out, the crows are tearing into the garbage and making a disarray in our community. So if our community is not aware that the pickup has changed, then we're going to have more filth, and then that will create rodents and everything in the city of Patterson. And still, and my final point, Council President, I have yet to receive, in our last meeting, I made some inquiries as it relates to the process for bulk pickup when they call DPW and they're going down to the yard to drop off their bulk. I have not seen the outline of that plan. How many employees will be there? How do we control the traffic? Is the traffic department involved? I haven't seen that, and I still would like that sent to us as a council, because once it has started, once they start calling, I want to make sure we don't have any other issues that we have not proactively thought about or planned for due to this new process that's in place. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mims. I know before we close out, Councilwoman Cotton, and right after motion.
I just want to say to the listening audience out there, and I know everybody complained because they could not read the map. It was so tiny. I mean, even if you had reading glasses on, you couldn't read it. But the fourth ward, this happened starting last week. It just didn't start happening this week. This started happening last week, right before Christmas, that the garbage was not getting picked up. They put garbage out on Sunday. Monday was the Christmas day. They don't pick up on Monday. They don't pick up on the holiday of Christmas and the holiday of New Year's. This past weekend, and I know that they came out, but this past weekend, the people put garbage out again on Sunday for Monday. Philco didn't start till Tuesday, which is today. The fourth ward is zone 2. Community, the fourth ward is zone 2. So that garbage you got out for Monday is not going to get picked up now till Thursday. So you got to know, I put it on the Facebook page. I'm trying to reach everyone, but it's and then it's a lot of furniture.
Something on your screen. There's something on the screen.
Can you hear me now?
We could hear you, Councilwoman. Yes.
Okay. But now, I mean, it is so much bulk out there. Besides, you got bulk, you got cardboard, you got cans, you got bottles, you got plastic. They're all mixed together, and I'm not quite sure how Philco is going to be able to handle this mixture of all this. But I want to say to you out there, the fourth ward is zone 2, and the pickup is Monday and Thursday. Most of
you got some zone 1 in some area of the fourth ward. If you look at the map, if I'm not mistaken.
Council President, I'm looking at the fourth ward. Right. It's more than just a fourth ward in zone 2. Yes, you're correct. It's more than just a fourth.
Okay, they got it going. I'm sorry.
Right. They're in there too. Right.
Council President.
Okay. I'm sorry, but this is what I needed to, and I have something else to say, but I'll wait till you close out. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Yes, if you could make the comment at the closeout meeting, Councilwoman Davila.
Okay, so just quickly, I do want to say this. So part of what we asked, and when we spoke in finance and we asked in our meetings before this, would take place, is that, the mayor, along with all the council, because we were doing our own thing, but that the mayor used the platform that he uses to announce all the ground openings and other stuff to continuously. So I saw a call today. I did not hear a call before then, but I know that has to be continuous. So, Madam BA, if that can continue going on, it's going to bother people, but it's going to sink in. In addition, Channel 77. I walk in today to look at the information on Channel 77, but it's the flyer. You can't read it. You cannot read. I mean, I went all the way close to the TV and I said, but it's not readable. So there has to be a different format than just scanning the information that was being used for social media, all right, and other platforms. So I just wanted to put that there because I think it's important that we all, as a council, right, we put out the information, but this clearly has to go through the administration. And I also requested, along with others, for it to be in different languages. So you have people contacting us and saying, why isn't this being done? And coming down on the council, and demanding the council when the council has done their due diligence to make sure to ask the administration for all of these things. And I know, Madam BA, you did indicate that there were going to be different languages, in Spanish, English, Arabic, Bengali, and other languages as well. But I think the majority of the bulk of what we need to do, we have to do in bulk. And also we said about notices going out. And I know that they go out to the taxpayer, the homeowner, but something has to be done that also the tenants are aware. All right. I did my thing today for lunch. I had to walk down the commercial corridor in downtown. I had to tell people, I'm sorry, but your pickup isn't till tomorrow. And when I tell you that must have been 80 bags out there, I felt so bad. I'm like, I don't want them to get ticketed, and they should not get ticketed because of the situation of what's going on, that they all don't have all the information. So
thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember, if I may, can we do it? Can you make your comment on the closeout? Because you still have time to the closeout. Let's do this. Do we have a motion to close? Motion to close. Councilwoman Davila, it was second by Councilwoman Mims, and roll call to close this meeting. Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk.
Roll call to close the meeting. It was moved by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilwoman Cotton.
She's muted.
You're muted. You have to unmute.
She didn't call my name yet.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was
Right,
muted.
she didn't call my name.
So roll call to adjourn the Municipal Council Budgetary Year meeting of Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024.
Okay.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm just going to be real quick. Like I said, the garbage pickup is for the fourth ward is in zone 2, but there's other wards in zone 2 also. It's not just all the fourth ward. I kind of wish they could have did 2 wards for each zone, but I guess they couldn't figure out how to do that. But I know that for the fourth ward, it's going to be zone 2. Also, Madam BA, just get all that information, what we asked, with that contract and why it took so long. And also, when you look at these banks, even some of the banks that's on here are not right. So to say that, I don't know how you can, well, I can figure out how you can do it, but even some of the banks that are listed are not right, and they're not clear, and they don't treat people, they don't give them loans, you can't get none. We have to start deciding that we're going to start using banks to, who's going to help the community and do things for the community. And also all these banks got foundations, and who do they donate to? Who do they give back to? those are some of the things, Madam BA, that, to look into. I'm not sure Javier, he's our CFO, but I'm on another board that sometimes they, I don't know how we can do it here, but they know like the stock market and how to put money in certain CDs and how to put money in certain areas where you can get a 5% interest. 5% on $20 million is a lot of money that you can kind of put up. So I'm not quite sure, but with that being said, everyone, I wish everyone had a very happy New Year's. I look forward to 2024. We have all 6 of us have council seats that we're running for, and Ruby Cotton is still running for the 4th Ward City Council in the city of Patterson. And for those who would like to support me, please come out. You want to speak to me, please come out. You want to call me, as my slogan has always been, committed, dedicated, and accessible. You want to see your council person, you want to hear from them, and you want to talk to them, and you want to reach out and touch them. That's what a council person is. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I wish everyone a good evening. God bless you all. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
Thank you very much. Once again, to the community, Happy New Year. 2024 has to be better than 2023. I just think about, where I was just a year ago with 3 surgeries and a lot going on family-wise and still serving the community. But I heard a few pastors on Sunday, and there was one that really resounded on me, and that was the word. I want everything negative from my life away from me. I want to be able to serve the community. It's okay if you don't like me, I'm okay. But your negative energy, I want it away from me. I want to be able to do what's right. I want to work with my colleagues. I know there's 6 of them up for re-election, and I wish them all well. I'm going to do my work where I need to do my work, all right? And, this year is about elevating. This year is about doing new, what's new for our community? What do we want to do as a whole? Because at the end of the day, it's okay, to second something, emotion something. The reality is, in our position here is what are we going to do here now in 2024 that's going to make a difference in the community? I'll continue to say this, and Corporation Council, I'm coming in strong with that ordinance that I have been asking for pertaining to these after hours, all right? It's been too long, and that ordinance has to come on the floor. So, Council President, be ready for it, all right? Because we're bringing it on. Anyone that is failing to operate under a CO, if you got a mechanic shop, if you have a barber shop, and that's what you got a CO for, and you are caught with an after hour, we have to put something in place with big fines, and to be able to, second time around, take away their CO. We don't want your business here in the city of Patterson if you're not making Patterson better. Businesses that have been or received their licenses are specific to do whatever that license pertains to. There's a lot of issues here, ABC violations, bodegas selling alcohol, being caught, but they're still running as a bodega. We got to do better. And once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Christmas and New Year's was very quiet at home with the one I love the most and the only one that really has my heart wholeheartedly. But I reflected on the word, and I said that this year, anything that's negative, I don't want no more negativity in my life. I'm putting that away. Your problems are yours. I got mine, so I don't bring yours. You don't bring yours to mine. So with that said, I just needed to say that message because I've been holding it since the 31st, the 1st. So anyway, blessings to all. My vote is yes to close.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davila. Councilwoman Mims.
So as we started this meeting by saying Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Three Kings Day, Feliz Navidad, Happy Birthday, Happy Anniversary, and whatever you're celebrating, happy. That is the word for the year, happy and overflow, that we will begin to get more in 2024. More blessings, more success, more healthy reports, more prosperity, that we will be more in alignment with God's will for our life, and we will continue to do the more. without all of, as Councilwoman Dowell just stated, without all of the negativity, all of the extra, all of the distractions, and all of the extra baggage. You'll put all that stuff aside and walk through every open door that God has planned for your life and your family's life. As we know in the Word of God, it says that we are not only blessed, but our seeds are blessed, and our seeds are blessed. And so we want to continue to have those blessings flow in and through and out of our life and onto everyone that we are in direct contact with. My prayer is always for this great community is that we continue to thrive and move forward. It is a new year. Do we have issues and are there struggles and things that can be better in the city of Patterson? Absolutely. But are there some great things that has happened and are happening? Yes, there are too. So, but the way we get everything done is that we work together. Maybe you have a great solution or an idea that we have not thought about. Call us. There's 9 council members here. There's 6 ward, 3 at large. Make a phone call. Let's work together and let's get it done. I want to put on the floor, and I would like to see this come before this council, possibly in January, in Corporation Council, if you could pop on for a second. I'm looking to sponsor a new ordinance or a resolution. It's probably more, I don't know which one it will be, but I would like for every council member to have the opportunity to hire an intern. There will be a stipend where we can pay that intern, a college student, or someone entering into college or someone currently in college. We will give them a $5,000 stipend to help possibly during the summer months. But each council member is able to select a person or a young person to help them, someone that's probably interested in political science. You know, it's a way to give back to our young people and get them motivated to be a part of the political, not the political process, but, you know, governance process in the city of Patterson. So our AIM Corporation Council, if we could start putting that together, I would like to see that council president on the agenda in January. I will be sponsoring that item. And I know all of our council members, they love the youth. I know because they work in education or they have children or that, so forth and so on. And I want to get our young people involved. Another item that I saw that was just done, and I want to sponsor this one too, where they're looking to allow the voting age to be reduced to 16 years old. So we can get our high school students involved in that process. For that one, I will send you the language, Corporation Council from Newark. I would like to sponsor that language as well. That way we can increase the voting population and allow our young people to get involved. I believe our young people are going to pave the way for the next generation. And I would like to see that for February, for the age to be reduced to 16, but for the internships to be on the January city council meeting. There's a lot of young people in the city and they need mentorship. And if they're in college, you know, they need help with books and you know, different things. And I think this will be a way that we can pour into them, train them, help guide and mentor them under the guise of, you know, us in this process, legislative process as city council members here in the great city of Patterson. So Corporation Council, if you can work to prepare those, and if you need any additional information from me, I can definitely provide that. But I would like the internship council president on the agenda in January, and then the reduction of the age for voting from 17 to 16 years old. I would like to see that on the agenda in February, not to take effect for May, but possibly if we have time for November or for the next voting cycle for the following year. But those 2 items I'm looking to sponsor to the viewing public. Today was the garbage pickup. I did see a lot of council members have it posted on their social media pages. I'm going to do an email blitz and a robocall myself just to educate the community on the process to ensure that everyone is on the same page. I did drive around a little bit today, kind of knocked on a few doors just to let you know that the garbage has changed, to put your garbage back in the back. And people kind of laugh like, Dr. Mims, you're at our house, it's freezing out here. I'm like, but I don't want rodents. The crows are coming, so I don't want the birds to demolish your garbage. So please familiarize yourself. Go on pattersonnj.gov/recycling. If you go in there and put your address, it will give you exactly the days for bottles, leaves, and the new garbage pickup. So you'll see that information readily available. There is no charge for bulk pickup. All you have to do is call DPW 973-321-1488 to schedule your pickup, or you can drop it off at the location. But DPW's number is 973-321-1488. Please make that schedule. And I do like Councilman Velez's nice, colorful, looks almost Christmassy, his flyer that he has done. So that means he's pushing me to put a flyer together or something for the community at large. But let's keep building this great city together. And I know 6 of our council colleagues are up for election, so it's going to get really intense. Thank God, myself and Councilman Dowell and Councilman Uden, we don't have to endure that process until a few more years. But, my prayers go out to each of you that will be doing your campaigning and going out there and doing what you need to do to either remain in your seat or take another opportunity, whatever God's plan is. God's plan is bigger than anything that we can purpose for our life any day of the week. Thank you, Madam B.A. Thank you, CFO, Corporation Counsel, Ermelinda, Madam Clerk, our secretaries, Ryan, and to our secretary, I see who's on, Minister Phyllis, and everyone for all, and our Director Fleming, I see him on as well. Thank you, everyone, for all you do and our employees to continue to move this great city of Patterson forward. Let's keep building and not battling. 2024, the year of more. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Dr. Mims.
Oh, I have to say, I forgot. And I have to say to my church, congratulations. We will be celebrating on Thursday 15 years of ministry, 15 years of Pastor and People, founded from the ground up on January 4th, 2009. So to all the members of New Beginnings, we will be having, our dinner and all that. Information will be going out tonight on the private location. We will be going out to celebrate 15 years of Pastor and People from the ground of zero to a great number that God has blessed us with. And we're super excited about what he has done and what he shall continue to do. With that stated, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Dr. Mims.
My vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez?
Congratulations, Councilwoman Lilissa Mims, and your anniversary, 15 years of serving. I could recall I didn't need it to go to no website or Zoom preaching when you had yours in the middle of the pandemic. I recall that. So I congratulate you and your member of the church, especially your mom. Okay, so I know that she's a good servant, and the ministry having noticed in the city of Patterson. I hate the part that, not hate, because I don't hate nothing, but I detect that every time I go through Pearl Street, I don't see the church there. So, it's sad that churches are being knocked down and bars and liquor store are putting up. So, and soon to be cannabis out there. But hey, that's another story. But but I just want to say, administration, please take note. Please take note. I receive calls from seniors complex about how they pick up their garbage and left behind boxes and all that stuff on their parking lot, to make sure that's coordinated with the new company, how that's going to work. The other thing is seniors not savvy with smartphones or computers. We had to get a way that join the housing authority to make sure they how to educate their seniors how to recycle. We are doing our part, Madam BA, since you send the email to start advising the residents about the new changes. We have a part to be out here and deliver the message that the administration had put forward through us, because we out there more than anybody in the administration to confront any concern about the residents of Patterson. One also, Madam BA, is to make notes. The commercial pickup in downtown. Marty Barnes put in place that commercial pickup will be 6 days a week, because he knew and understood that downtown don't have backyards. Downtown don't have a rooms to put all those food, all those bags. McDonald's don't have a back room to put all those bags that they do daily. All those restaurants do not have a backyard to put their garbage. And as a DPW chair, those that sit down in our committee, I brought that up. It was going to be a mess. Where they're going to put a container, where they're going to put the garbage in front of the stores. Listen, we don't want to see downtown as a New York City downtown. We want to see the downtown clean. I received call from the director SID from downtown. They pay a lot of taxes, and I think they deserve a good service from the city of Patterson. This has to be corrected. We don't want rescinding no ordinance. We don't want to start all over again. I want to see, and Councilwoman at Large stated that she want to see a 30-year report, 30 days report about the progress. I want to see a 30 days report on how much we really saving if we are going to do 2 days only in downtown. And trust me, people like to walk in downtown, and they don't want to walk over bags of food and all that stuff. Also, the other things that we have been doing, and I know that Councilwoman Mintz praised the flyer. I took time last night to put it together and try to send it out with the link of the recycling coach, Spanish and English. I wish I could do other language, but I don't want to make the mistake that my ESL is not too perfect. But I tried to put it the right way out there. But I guess the people in the Fifth Ward have received the message that the Fifth Ward has 2 zones, and those zones are Zone 1 and Zone 3, and they are Zone 1 are Tuesday and Fridays, and Zone 3 on Wednesday and Saturday, and the recycling in the Fifth Ward are always Friday, except the commercial part of Market Street and Park Avenue. But they will catch up. The only thing that we have all challenge, okay, is not the culture of nationality, it's the culture of conduct. People in the past used to put everything in a black bag and put it in the garbage. Now they have noticed that the new company have going around opening bags, and they see a bag with 3 bottles in there, they're not going to take it. So please, residents of Patterson, let's start recycling bottles and plastic one day, cardboards another day. Let's start recycling. Is the better way to keep our city clean. Is the better way, better practice to cooperate with DPW. I have a landlord on the corner of Beach Street and 21st Avenue, and DPW is aware of this. Numerous time in court for dumping the everything, furniture and everything, to the next side of the sidewalk, the other side of the sidewalk. It's not acceptable. You know, we want to see our city clean. It's 50-50. We need to put, and let me not say 50-50, 100-100. It's 100% from my side, 100% from your side as a resident of the city of Patterson. I have more tenants than anybody in any ward. Also Fourth Ward, and the First Ward. We need to try to help our landlords to send a message, making sure that every tenant understand where we're going through. You know, regarding the bank, I know there was a bank that on the federal level was mandated to give back to the community, and that bank was introduced to Patterson. The last time they did is open a branch in Patterson, and that branch was MT Bank, and that was mandated by court the federal court that they had to give back to the community, and they opened their own branch in Patterson. We should look into that bank to see if they want to contribute back to the community, giving back to Patterson. I know every administration have a transition team when it comes up to change government. It will be a good practice that it will be a transition team in both sides to make sure with the garbage collection moves smoothly, and it happened. So we started with a new year with a new company. Hopefully they start using the brooms and the shovels when they leave behind the garbage, because I got pictures, and make sure that they don't use the same practice that the other company was using in Patterson. I want to send a message to this company. We want to feel like Beverly Hills when it comes up to service. We want to feel like Beverly Hills, trust me. Last but not least, Councilwoman Cotton started already campaigning. You listen, I'm being here since 2016, but involved in the community since 37 years ago. And I have proved my leadership, my involvement with the community in all aspects. If 36 new projects don't mean nothing to you, if more street paved in the Fifth Ward don't mean nothing to you, for me, means a lot. We have improved the Fifth Ward. People knows it. Anybody that comes to the Fifth Ward feel like they are home. You see different restaurants. You see different community. 2 new parks renovated for kids in the spectrum, like kids in need. And if you go, I could go on, and I'm not going to campaign from there, but my work speaks by itself. I'm a 24/7 councilman. You cannot improvise. Experience cannot be improvised. You cannot choose candidates who don't know the difference between a power line and utility wire. You told if you don't know what is that, so as I always say, I run into the true and real leadership, and my new slogan is the people councilman. So I'm there for you. Last but not least, Council President, a lot of people are blaming the council that we voted for a new garbage company. Listen, we needed to vote on a contract that was processed and vetted and was processed and went to the right process. It's not our fault. And if I announce Spanish and English and I'm out there always in TV, it's because I want to orientate the community with the right things. And I'm helping the administration to deliver the message. But I cannot take responsibility in something that is not in our hands. We're here to inform. We are your eyes. We are your ear. We are your voice. Stop blaming the council people for other things that is not legislating for the benefit of the residents of Patterson. Saying that, we're going to have time for debate. We're going to have time to question and answer. I sent a picture of my lovely dog when we was talking about off-duty payment, and he was upside down waiting for his compensation. I'm just kidding. But God bless you all. Please keep us in prayer. 2024 is here. 2020 was a year of vision. Our vision was tested with COVID. 2024 is a positive year, and we are going to continue moving our leadership, the leadership that we bring to the council, the leadership that we bring to the community in 2024, all the way down to 2028. God bless you all. And thank you, Council President. Stay safe out there. I know it's not easy. Thank you for the leadership that you did in the Dominican Republic with the work and distributing all the needs and what we collect here to take in the Dominican Republic. So, Madam BA, God bless you. Stay safe, Madam Clerk. I know this is not the last meeting of the year. It's the beginning one. We want to start in the right foot. We need to be fair across the board,
Yes.
making sure that everybody from north to south, east to west, feel like Patterson is home, and everybody come here and feel like they're getting the best service that they deserve. Saying that, my vote is yes to close the meeting.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Definitely, this is the beginning. This is the first meeting, and let me just wish the entire city of Patterson a happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, and happy Wanaka, like my councilwoman men say. I'm in Dominican Republic. I came for a humanitarian mission, and even though I've been connected with my phone, answering, calling back my constituents, doing the people's work, working, and that's what I love to do. When I became the council president, my first goal was to unite this council and to work with each and every one of you. And Councilman Mims, Councilwoman Calvin, Councilwoman Davila, all those requests, all those ordinances, a resolution, get ready, because you got the green light to work and to put it on the table. That's what I'm here for, to unite this council and to help each of my colleagues on any item, any legislation that you want to push forward. I'm going to be right there with you side by side, working, making sure that we go through that to make our city better, because that's what is why we're here for. Communication is key to the administration. My goal is to work with the administration and to work with all my council colleagues. We got to have communication. Like example, like this situation with the off-duty company, not knowing that that's a problem. We are the ones that get the call all the time. And things like this, when we take action on items like that, if there's a problem, Madam BA and the administration, please reach out to us. Let us know what happened, because we are the eyes of the public. We are the ears of the people are calling us. And every time there's a problem, council members are the first one that get the call. So that's very important for us to move our city forward. This new year is going to be a great year. We're making a lot of different decisions. Like, for example, the new garbage collection that we have, we got to work together to make this work. To Zone 1, Tension Patterson, Zone 1, once again, is Tuesday and Friday. Zone 2, which is the entire third ward, to all my third ward residents, we're Zone 2, which is Monday and Thursday. We only have those 2 days in the entire third ward. We used to have three days or more different area. It's going to be only 2, Monday and Thursday, and Zone 3, Wednesday and Saturday. And you hear before, the bulk, you have to call to make the appointment. You can go to the yard and drop it off also as well. But we also remove the $50 charge on that as well. So we're moving the city forward. We're making progress this new year. We're excited. I'm excited to go back and continue the work that I love to do with the administration, with Madam BA, with our corporation council, with Javier. We're in this together. And I know we're making progress, and we have to continue the work. As everybody knows, I'm running for my re-election. The third ward is much better because I'm there, and you have a councilman that is available and accessible to the people. I'm a phone call away. I love my town hall meeting. I love to be in contact with my constituents, doing the work, informing the public, getting things done for my constituent. Riverside section almost repaved, almost entire all the roads on Riverside section. Most of the East Side parks are part also. Our East Side Park repaved, tennis court redone, new park, new baseball field, softball field in the third ward. What can I say? Listen, we make progress, and I'm ready to continue the progress with my re-election. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. 973-930-1436. That's my personal number. And from here, I've been working nonstop. Answering those phone calls, sending back text, calling DPW, calling the administration about the garbage situation that we have in the city of Patterson. And that's what I love to do, work and moving the city forward. So with that being said, Happy New Year, and let's get ready for 2024. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I announce the votes, I just want to remind each council member that Black History Month is on Thursday, February 1, 2024, the ceremony that is. So please start thinking about your nominees for the ceremony, and communication regarding this event will be forthcoming in the upcoming week. So the votes are 5 yeses, 4 absences. The meeting of Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 is hereby adjourned. Thank you and Happy New
Thank
Year.
you, Madam Clerk. Thank you,
Good night.
Councilmember. Good night, Patterson. See you tomorrow,
Good
Patterson.
night.
God bless.
And now you
Night,
broke record,
everyone.
Council Plaza, you broke record.
Good night. Broke record,
That
two
was horrible. Two items. Two items. That was horrible. Two
Yes.
items, and we're here for almost 2 hours.
We're still on the
I hate
air.
to say
We're
that,
still,
but come
we're
on,
still
people,
in the
we
air,
gotta
guys.
do better. Come on.